Hi, Shana Tova. I thought we'd explore one of the three major themes of the Rosh HaShanah Musaf together, as particularly in the youthful generation, those of us who grew up in a generation where kings are like the royalty in England, who are figureheads, who may be symbolic but wield no power, or who are despotic dictators and fascist regimes who abuse and in no way deserve any form of emulation, even on the scale of trepidation. The metaphor of kingship on Rosh HaShanah can be really challenging. And perhaps that challenge is best addressed by reminding ourselves of what royalty really is. Because kingship is not like the kingship even of our fantasies, of those round table rulers, but rather kingship as expressed in the canon of Tanakh is at its design, if not always at its implementation, something much greater. A king, as the Rambam teaches us in Hilchot Malachim, needs to be gracious and merciful to the small and the great, to involve himself in their good and welfare, and he needs to protect the humblest of men. Basing himself off of Tehillim, the Rambam assures us that a king is a shepherd, to pasture Jacob, his nation. It is the behavior of a shepherd, that one who shall pasture his flock like a shepherd, that we associate with kingship. Perhaps no better place to look to understand kingship on Rosh HaShanah is there than that which is found in the Machzor itself. When we reach the repetition of the Amidah on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, and we read about Melech Elyon, the supreme king, as contrasted versus the Melech Evyon, the destitute king of man. It's ridiculous to assume that God as king should be the same as those human beings who rule temporarily at the whim of their people or at the whim of the nations that surround them. To assume that the creator of the universe, who knows no compare, should be compared to a person with all of their limitations and their fallibility. But as you read this piyut, when you read about the Melech Elyon, the God who is beyond compare, the King who is beyond compare, whose power knows no end, and yet whose compassion, whose stewardship of a people like a shepherd guides them generally while allowing them each their space to grow, that is the King that we praise and that we anoint on Rosh Hashanah. Thank you.